hello. Maybe just try turning this off again for a moment. Find some music you really love, anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes of any type of music. And just sit quietly and breathe. Just breathe with the music. Close your eyes, get really comfortable, either seated or lying down in Ardha Shavasana with your knees bent while you're lying on your back. And just enjoy the music, let it transport you into another world, away from worry, away from stress, away from concern. And just focus on each and every breath. Set yourself an intention or sankalpa to flow with your breath and every movement. All right, so go ahead, turn this off, then turn it back on, and we'll begin. All right, I hope that was really good, quality, quiet time, just with you and your breath. So many tremendous benefits to that, inducing the stress response to help us deal with any type of stress we might be feeling at any point in our lives. Let's begin a little movement practice. To start with today, we're going to start in tabletop, like this. And just find your hands right underneath your shoulders, your knees right underneath your hips. Lengthen your spine. Make sure you're connected to each and every breath. Practice breathing only in and out through the nose throughout the practice if you can. And on a gentle inhale, start to come into a spinal extension as we start to move through cat-cow. Inhaling as you arch your back, and then exhaling, coming to spinal flexion, activating the core muscles to round the back and coming into spinal flexion. Inhale, come up, and exhale, round. All right, so we'll do that a few more times. Inhale up, and exhale, round. Inhaling through the nose, and exhaling through the nose. One more time. Inhale up, and then exhale, round. And now from here, lift your right arm and your left leg and just stabilize through the core. Stay here for 5 breaths and try to have your heel exactly at the same height as your hips and your hand at the same height as your shoulder. So we want to look for this bicep to ear connection here, and just think of lengthening through that as you stay there for 5 breaths. Now go ahead and change sides. Start with the leg up, and then the arm, and reach. Feel all the beautiful work that's happening around your midsection. Connect with the breath. Good. And then come back to tabletop, and from here, come to a child pose. I'll give you a couple of different options. You can either just come straight back, connecting as far down as possible with your sits bones or your back of your hip to your heels, and then fold forward and lengthen the arms. So that would be one option. The other option would be to widen the legs, keeping the toes together, coming to a wide child pose. But let's say that your knees are a little bit sensitive and you don't want to bend them that deeply. You don't want to come into deep knee flexion. You can keep your hips up like this and just come to high child pose. So whichever one works best for you. Settle into that for a few breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Good. And then from here, gently look up towards your hands and walk them over towards your right side. Feel this beautiful opening in the open side of your body, which for you will be your left side. Notice the breath traveling through that open side and through the entire back. Inhale gently, look up towards your hands and come to the other side. And we'll repeat exactly the same thing. Oh, that feels so wonderful, so relaxing. Very soothing, calming pose. And then come back to the center. Come back up to tabletop. From tabletop, so in your tabletop, you're going to inhale. And then in your exhale, just gently fold back again into your child pose. Inhale, come back up, curl your toes, and take yourself to Adho Mukha Shavasana, or downward dog. Inhaling, gently float down to your legs. Exhale, come back to child pose. And then inhale, rolling up, curling the toes. Exhale, downward dog. Let's do that a few more times, flowing the movement with the breath, moving softly and gently. So really anybody can do this. You decide how deeply you want to come into these poses to make sure that you can still stay fully comfortable and fully connected to your own breath. The next time that we come to downward dog, we're going to stay there. Now, it's not that important to put your heels down, and it's not that important to bend your knees, but what I'd like you to put importance into is lengthening your spine. So you can sort of see the difference. If I force my heels down and straighten my legs, it tends to make my back kind of round and go into flexion. I want to have a long, neutral spine. And to do that comfortably, I just bend the knees a little bit, lift the heels up just enough to allow that to happen. From here, we're going to roll over the feet, roll through the shoulder complex into plank as we inhale. And then exhale, come back to downward dog. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, rolling back. Inhale, rolling forward. Keep lots of weight on those big, strong legs so that you don't take it all into your upper body, into your shoulders, and into your wrists. One more time. Inhaling forward. Good job. And exhaling, taking it back. And from here, inhale forward, come back to your plank. Maybe just stay here for a breath or two. Really push up against the floor, push back into your heels, lift your thighs up, squeeze your glutes a little bit so that you give your entire pose complete muscular support. And then slowly drop the legs, uncurl the toes. Keep the elbows in nice and close and bring yourself down to the mat. All right, we're going to come to TV watching pose. Coming into a back bend, very simple, relaxing back bend. Back bends are very important to counteract all the sitting that we do in our society. So this helps us to reverse that forward bending posture that we always have when we sit too much in our cars or sit too much in front of our computer screens, as so many of us do on a daily basis for so many hours. Let me give you a couple of guidelines for your back bends. First thing I'd like you to do is just lengthen your legs. So imagine you could tiptoe your feet back to make your legs even longer than they are right now. And then imagine that you have magnets on the inside of your thighs and draw them together. And as you do that, you might notice that all of a sudden your glutes woke up. And if not, wake them up a little bit more. Now come up from the pelvic floor through the abdominals, give it support, keep lengthening the legs, drawing them in together, and then just simply release your hands down, coming to Sphinx pose, just like the statue in Egypt. And make sure that your head can move very, very freely here. So there's no strain on the neck. So some of you will have your head up a little lower, some of you will have a little higher, but if I go too low, it's hard to move. If I go too high, it's really hard to move. So I have to find for my body where that feels right. All right, on your next inhale, come down to your mat, bring your forehead to your hands, bring your heels up over your knees, and just simply windshield washer gently from one side to the other. And just to kind of reset the spine, coming into a relaxing twist after the back bend. Good. Come back through the center. Bring your hands to your sides. Imagine you're like a grasshopper almost trying to hop through a grassy field in the middle of August. So tuck your elbows in close to your sides, hands under your shoulders. Be nice and strong here. And then pull yourself up, coming to whatever back bend is best for you at this time. And coming to your downward dog. And from here, simply walk your hands in towards your feet. So you're going to move backwards and bring your hands in towards your feet. Now bend your knees just a little bit. Drop the hips down. Start raising the upper body, lifting up, coming into a chair pose. And inhale, come all the way up. Open the arms, expand the chest, bring your hands to the heart. Good. All right. From here, we're just going to go through a few series of sun salutations. Those of you who have a regular yoga practice probably have your own way of taking it through different variations, so feel free to modify in any way that is best for you. And those of you who have never done it before, just do what you can, take it slowly. There's no rush for any of this. You can always rewind and come back to it if you want to practice it a little bit more further on. All right, so starting at the front of your mat in Tadasana. So come right to the front of your mat and stand strong. Stand with ease and grace. Breathe. Root your legs down into the earth. Soften the knees. Level off your pelvis. And imagine making a tower of blocks with children's playing blocks. So you have 3 blocks, your pelvis, your rib cage, and your head. Level off your pelvis. And now stack your rib cage over your pelvis and create a little bit of space between the two. And then think of stacking the head over those two and create a little bit of space again. Imagine that your shoulders are on a clothes hanger. So just broaden the shoulders rather than pulling them back and tightening through the back. Just think of having your shoulders on a clothes hanger. Wide collarbones, wide shoulders. Good. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, coming to Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, come up just a little bit, long back. Take your hands down, step one foot back, step the other foot back. Come to your plank, lower down as you exhale onto your tummy. Inhale, come up into either baby cobra, cobra, or upward dog. And then downward dog as you exhale. Take as many steps as you need to so you can just simply walk your feet up. Coming to the front of your mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release. Come all the way up. Hands to the heart. We'll do it again. I'll give you a different variation this time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, either step one leg back at a time or hop those strong legs back and then come down through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. And now look forward and replace one of your hands. So let's say you want to go with your right leg. Take your right leg and replace your right hand with your right foot. Then replace your left with your left foot and coming into your forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Come all the way up. Hands to the heart. Good. Let's try that again. One more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Let's hop those strong legs back and then come forward. Maybe don't touch before you come straight up. Exhale, downward dog. And then step, walk, hop, jump, or fly those legs forward. Coming into your forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to the heart. Here's one more version. So you can use your blocks at any point of any of this. So let's say that you're having trouble with your downward dog. You could have your blocks in front of you. The transition from downward dog, you could take your blocks and then step through, and it'll give you a little bit more height. So that's just one way that you could use the blocks. All right, so you can play with that a little bit and see if it helps you. All right. Let's try one more pose, one more standing pose. I'm a big believer in practicing posture and balance every single day. So it doesn't matter whether you're taking a yoga class or a fitness class with me, I will always have you do some type of balance pose because it's just so important throughout our lives, and especially as we age, to reduce the risk of falling. So we'll go into a simple tree pose. You could take your foot either just to the ankle like this, so you're still connected, you're really still both on both legs, or you could come to your calf, or you can rise it up. Hands to the heart. And focus on your breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Keep focusing on your breath. If you lose your balance, no big deal, just put your foot down. Stay graceful. Keep working with ease. And then change sides. Maybe shake out your legs in between if you'd like. Here we go. Good. And breathe. Standing tall and strong. Imagine that the standing leg is like a tree trunk. You're being rooted down into the ground through that foot, through that leg. And this leg is a tree branch that's connected to the leg, to the trunk. These are little branches right here, growing, connecting. Beautiful. Come out of that. Inhale, rise the arms up. One more flowing sequence. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come up to a half lift. Exhale, release. Step, walk, hop, jump. Take those legs back however it works for you. Come onto the lower leg or straight down through your chaturanga. Coming up into your back bend. Downward dog. And float yourself down to child pose. So there's a quick little sequence for you. Be sure to tune in to some of the other segments that I will be offering you. We'll be doing a back care segment. I'll be doing a floor stretching segment, as well as a whole bunch of other things. So I look forward to your feedback. Thank you so much for being part of this, and stay well. Namaste.